In Mexico, if your boss forces you to work 10 hours of overtime, you don't just get time and a half. By hour 10, the law literally forces them to pay you triple your hourly rate.
Oh yeah, it gets expensive fast.
Right. So today, welcome to your Custom Deep Dives. Our mission here is to unpack derechos laborales in Mexico and give you a shortcut to mastering your essential rights as a new worker in Mexico.
And, the absolute bedrock of all those protections traces straight back to Article 123 of the Constitution. It's like the Magna Carta of labor rights.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because knowing that baseline, well, it changes the power dynamic from the very second you sign your contract under the Ley Federal del Trabajo, or the LFT.
Exactly. It sets a non-negotiable floor. So you have the 48-hour maximum work week, the mandatory aguinaldo, which is 15 days pay by December 20th, and a minimum of 12 paid vacation days.
Yeah, and what's actually fascinating to me is the mechanism behind that 25% vacation premium.
Right. The intent there is highly specific.
Yeah.
Because the law recognizes that simply giving you time off isn't enough if you can't afford to actually step away. Totally. So that extra 25% ensures you have the disposable income to travel or genuinely relax. Rather than just surviving on your base pay while you're away from the office, it funds actual rest.
But wait, what if a boss demands more than 48 hours? I mean, a 48-hour maximum sounds great on paper, but we both know modern startup culture often glorifies the 60-hour grind. Is it just tough luck? How do you say no without getting fired?
It's definitely not tough luck. That is exactly where that punitive overtime structure kicks in. It's an economic deterrent, not just a moral suggestion.
So it actually hits their wallet.
Oh, absolutely. The first 9 extra hours in a week demand double your hourly rate. Pushing you beyond that triggers the triple pay threshold. The law makes overworking you financially toxic for the company's bottom line.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Your compensation isn't just that direct deposit. Your employer is legally forced to fund what is essentially a shadow payroll through the IMSS. It's kind of like an invisible shield.
That's the perfect way to look at it. You don't see it in your bank account, but it pays out when you stumble. IMSS is a parallel public safety net.
Right.
Your employer is buying your health care, they're covering maternity leave, and paying into a fund for severe workplace accidents. They're even subsidizing daycare for eligible parents.
Wait, is this just for workplace injuries?
No, not at all. It covers general health and life invalidity, too. It ensures that if a major life event hits, your income stream doesn't just evaporate.
So IMSS catches you when you fall today, but the system also forces you to catch yourself tomorrow. That's where we shift to long-term wealth building, right? Like the Afore and Infonavit.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the state is engineering your long-term stability through a tripartite pension savings system.
But for someone at their very first job, retirement feels a million years away. Why should you care right now?
Because you, your employer, and the government are legally required to fund your O4. But the critical action for you is actively choosing a fund administrator with high yields and low commissions immediately on day one. Compound interest over decades dictates your entire retirement payout.
Wow, okay. And alongside the Afore is Infonovit, where the employer has to drop an extra 5% of your salary into a housing sub-account. But honestly, if you have zero plans to buy property anytime soon, this just feels like dead money sitting in an account.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, but it's far from dead money. The brilliant part of the Infonovit mechanism is that if you never draw down that 5% fund for a mortgage, well, it doesn't just vanish.
It doesn't.
No, it rolls over completely and injects straight into your final retirement pension. It acts as a forced supplementary savings account.
So what does this all mean for you listening? It means the burden is on you to be proactive. You need to verify your IMSS and Infonovit registrations the moment you start a new role.
Exactly, because if a company tries to cut corners on any of these mandatory rights, the tribunal laboral exists specifically for you to enforce them.
The legal framework gives you tremendous leverage, but you have to actually hold your employer accountable. Which brings us to one final provocative thought to leave you with. The law includes a right to profit sharing, or PTU.
Right, up to 10% of the company's taxable income.
Yeah. So if you legally have a right to a cut of the company's profits, how does that shift your mindset from being just an employee to acting like a true stakeholder in the business's success? Think about that the next time you clock in.